So today I want to give Mitsuki some love and I want to give him some attention because his character to me is very interesting and very mysterious. And for me at least, I think when a character is mysterious and just a series in general, when a series or a show has a lot of mystery to it, I find myself more interested and more invested in it. And Mitsuki is just that type of character for me because we don't know a lot about Mitsuki, we know some. And we did get an arc, basically the Sasuke retrieval arc for Mitsuki earlier on in Boruto. I think it was about last year in the anime because it wasn't in the manga. And it was really good. Somewhat, it dragged on for a while, but it was good in general and we got some good moments from it. But one thing we don't know about is the origins of Mitsuki. Like we know some of it, we know that he was created by Orochimaru, but one thing we don't know is what he was created from and how he has this mysterious power. And for me at least, I think it links back to the Otsutsukis. And if you look at it from a base level, his name is Mitsuki and they're called Otsutsuki, which doesn't really mean anything if you look at it at face value, but it just implies that he's related to them in some way. It's kind of like supplementary evidence, so it's not anything concrete. And then you have to look at the meaning for Mitsuki's name. So Mitsuki typically means in Japanese beautiful moon. So Sutsuki itself means moon, so Mitsutsuki means beautiful moon. And if you look at the Naruto series in general, which clan or which set of people can we relate to the moon? Otsutsukis, because Sutsuki means moon. And which specific character can we relate to the moon, like to the moon in general? Toneri Otsutsuki. So one thing that links it back to Toneri for me is just the look of Mitsuki. If you put Mitsuki beside Toneri, you can see that there are a lot of similarities as it relates to just their looks and their appearance, which is the same thing anyways. So if you put them together, you can see that they look the same, just their appearance, right? And then you have to compare the Sage mode that Mitsuki has with Toneri's Tenseigan mode. They're very similar in design and they have the same color scheme. Now again, this is just supplementary evidence. And one more thing we can factor in is one thing that all Otsutsukis have in general that distinguishes them from regular human beings. What is that? It's the fact that they normally have horns. And if you look at Mitsuki when he's in Sage mode or full Sage mode, he has a horn in the middle of his forehead. So again, all of this is supplementary evidence that kinda implies that he's somewhat related to the Otsutsukis. Now we could just say that Orochimaru used some random Otsutsukis like Kaguya to create Mitsuki, but then we have to account for the fact that he looks so similar to Toneri in his basic look and also when he goes into Sage mode. So that's why I think it's Toneri's DNA and not just some random Otsutsuki. So we have this theory here on Reddit where a user kind of theorized that Toneri directly gave Orochimaru like his DNA and said to create Mitsuki, or he kind of indirectly left it for Orochimaru to find. So I'm going to pull up this theory here and we can go through it. So this right here is the original comment. So the user said, and you can see his name, I don't want to say it because maybe he doesn't want it to be said or whatever, but yeah, I'm just going to give you the theory that he said. You can see his name here for credit. So he says that Toneri intentionally gave Orochimaru his DNA to create Mitsuki. So that's the entire basis for this entire theory, right? And then we have another user that commented here. I'm going to pull it up here. We can go through it. And this user is the one that really went into it and gave an in-depth analysis of what he thinks. And it's really plausible and I think they should implement it even if that's not what they were going for because it's really interesting. So here we go. As others said below, it's very possible that Orochimaru knew of the Otsutsuki way before any of us did. Orochimaru is a mad scientist who uses ninjutsu essentially. The way his curse mark works is almost identical to the way the karma works. Orochimaru's first vessel, who was also a member of the Kaguya clan, is referring to Kimimaro here, said to be the direct descendant of Kaguya herself. Of course, Orochimaru picked someone closely tied to the Otsutsuki Kimimaro to be his vessel. Not only was he powerful, but he understands how the karma worked and wanted to make sure his curse mark version of it would be successful, so he picked someone with DNA as close to an Otsutsuki as possible. Obviously that didn't work out in his favor and he ended up using Sasuke, kinda, because he technically didn't use Sasuke, he was planning to, but then Sasuke kinda backstabbed him and sealed him, whatever. Now continuing here, he says that Toneri in the last movie, that's Naruto the Last, after being defeated by Naruto decides that he will help protect Earth. But he's on the moon, how exactly is he going to do that? And what if another Otsutsuki comes after him? Spoilers, it happens. He had to come up with another plan. So what he's mentioning here is that Toneri wanted to stay on the moon and basically protect Earth like an orbiter, like around the planet itself. But then Orochimaru got to him first and sealed him for 10,000 years. So that's why he said that spoilers, it happened. So yeah, Toneri is basically sealed on the moon right now, so he can't really do anything. So then he says, Toneri gives his DNA to Orochimaru, the most capable person on Earth who has proven to successfully use Otsutsuki DNA/tech in the past to create a clone/variant of himself. So basically what he's saying is that before Toneri was sealed on the moon, he gave Orochimaru his DNA to create Mitsuki, because you have to remember that Mitsuki was technically created like 8 years before Orochiki arrived, because Orochiki and Momoshiki kind of arrived at the same time, or maybe Orochiki was there before and then Momoshiki came afterwards. So technically Mitsuki would have had to been created, or it would have had to give Orochimaru his chakra or DNA before the Orochiki thing happened for this to all make sense. And when he says that Orochimaru was proven to successfully use Otsutsuki DNA/tech to create a variant of himself in the past, he's referring to the fact that Orochimaru was technically sealed or killed by Ichigo. Jesus Christ, I didn't just say Ichigo. I'm watching Bleach right now, so bear with me. I meant Itachi. Because remember in the Sasuke fight, Itachi came out and sealed Orochimaru using the Totsuka blade. So Orochimaru was technically defeated, but then he was able to re-emerge through the curse mark. So the curse mark basically operated like the karma in a sense, and Orochimaru was planning on using it to take over Sasuke's body, the same way he was able to re-emerge from that girl's body in the war arc, where Sasuke kind of fed chakra into him and he was able to emerge from her curse mark. So it kind of operated in a similar fashion in that sense. So that's why it's saying that he was able to like create a variant of himself, because technically the Orochimaru that we have right now isn't the original Orochimaru. He's like a clone of himself. So yeah, that's what he means. So this time, instead of creating another clone of himself, Orochimaru makes this clone his son Mitsuki. Mitsuki literally means moon. Well, not technically, it means beautiful moon. Suki means moon, so Mitsuki means beautiful moon, but yeah, basically it means moon in a sense. And Toneri is from the moon, and the Otsutsuki are in general from another planet or comes from the stars/the moon. Then he says Mitsuki's and Toneri's chakra modes/sage modes also look incredibly similar, which helps to prove this theory a little bit more. So again, supplementary evidence. Mitsuki's sole purpose in life, and this is where we get kind of a little more deep into it. So he says that Mitsuki's sole purpose in life is to find Boruto and to stay by his side. Boruto is the sun and Mitsuki is the moon. So yeah, this theory is pretty spicy. Then he says that Boruto has the Jogan, and although we don't know much about its abilities yet, that power is likely the thing necessary to defeat the Otsutsuki. We know so far that the Jogan allowed Boruto to see dark energy, which it did, and if I remember correctly, it allowed us to see Uroshiki's movements, and at the very least Uroshiki knew what it was and that it was troublesome. So he's referring to the boyhood arc in Naruto, or in Boruto actually, and yeah, it did allow Boruto to see Uroshiki's movements, so he's definitely correct here. Then the user kind of went on to talk about the clash of ideas between Orochimaru and Amado, where Orochimaru kind of focuses on the organic aspect of it, and Amado focuses on the scientific aspect of it. So it's a good read, you guys should check it out. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you guys can go pull it up, upvote it, because I think it's really interesting. So yeah, it's a good theory. So overall, I think Mitsuki will be a very important character to the series. That's why when it comes to like versus battles and people saying that Mitsuki is like weak and he's gonna lose to all these people, I think that's nonsense, because we obviously saw the power of Mitsuki's Sage Mode just in that Orochimaru fight itself, and it shows how powerful he truly is. But the only thing is that he has this major downside where his body can't really handle the power. So you can see that there's a major flaw in Orochimaru's design where the power is there, he's able to like use the power and put the power into a body, but he can't really create a body that can handle that power. And that was the same problem with Orochimaru in the Naruto series, where the bodies themselves tend to decay and he needed to switch body all the time. So yeah, it's the same thing now. So you can see that even after all this time, he's still unable to perfect the body to handle the power, which Amado has done. So you can see that Amado is kind of winning in that department when it comes to like even power. Like Amado is creating like these great overpowered cyborgs, and then you have Orochimaru creating a really overpowered character, but he's unable to use the power. You get what I'm saying? So the body itself, I think if Mitsuki was like, let's just say if Amado created Mitsuki's body and he was able to use the power that Orochimaru gave him, like he would be on another level when compared to the other characters, because he would have the body to manage the power and he would have the power to use. You know, so I think Mitsuki is really important to the plot, and he will be important to defeating the Otsutsukis in general, because I believe that he has their power. So what better power to use against the Otsutskis than their own power, you know, which is technically what every character in Naruto is using, because all of this power came from Kaguya in the first place. So yeah, Mitsuki is just the boss, and it'll be interesting to see where they take his characters, so I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, we need to see more fights, we need to see his powers grow, we need to see him like improve, you know, power wise. We haven't really seen that in a while, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'm gonna end the video now because I'm basically rambling at this point. So let me know what you guys think about it. Do you think that Mitsuki is part Otsutsuki, like directly? I know that indirectly he is technically, but chakra wise, because you know Kage and all that lovely stuff, but like directly, like DNA wise, he was created using the DNA of an Otsutsuki. Do you guys think that is the case? And if you do, like, just like the video, man. Drop a comment, subscribe for more Boruto content, because we will be doing this more often, as I said in my prior videos. So yeah, that is all, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.